Morning again, folks. Today is February 18th, 2024. It's a Sunday, and we are in Carbon County, Pennsylvania, and beyond those trees in front of us is Lake Hauto. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I apologize to the locals. I want to read you something that I got out off the internet today. This is a newspaper article from the Allentown Morning Call dated December 16th, 1911. The title of the article was Planned Power Plant Near Mauch Chunk. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, Mauch Chunk is present-day Jim Thorpe. It used to be called Mauch Chunk, or Mouse Chunk, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Here's how the article goes. Plans have been prepared by the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company for the construction of an immense electrical generating station in its mining region for distribution of power to manufacturing industries in the territory adjacent thereto. Sorry, it's a little windy. Adjacent thereto within a radius of 40 miles and for use in the corporation's own mining operations. This proposed enterprise, concerning which some publicity was given a year ago, will be conducted on so large a scale that it will be exceeded in extent in the East only by the company whose power is generated by the waters of Niagara. Essentially, they're saying it's going to be a really big power plant on the East Coast. Official announcement of the adoption of the plans was made after a meeting of the Board of Managers Monday in Philadelphia. Although no specific details were given, it is understood that the company intends to bid for business as far south as Philadelphia. The estimated cost of the improvement is said to be $3 million. Although no specific details were given, it is understood that the company intends... I already read that part. Let's skip ahead. A significant part of the board's announcement is that the proposed improvement will be of great benefit to the company and that great quantities of coal can be utilized in the steam plant in operating the turbine engines for making power. So there's already piles and piles of coal up here. So they're going to use that to burn in the power plant. This means it has been learned that as rich as the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company is in coal property, there will be no necessity for drawing on the mines for fuel supply. The extensive coal banks will provide fuel for years and thus effect a savings which perhaps no other power company can enjoy. The new plant will be built at Hauto in Carbon County, which is where we are right now, about 6 miles west of Mauch Chunk, present-day Jim Thorpe. The location for such a plant is said to be ideal in that ample water supply and no extraordinary engineering problems are involved. So they were going to dam up, that's the end of the article, they're going to dam up the Nescahoning Creek to make Lake Hauto, and that's going to be how they're going to cool the power plant. Okay, so we're walking on what I believe is one of the beds that they used to store their coal hoppers on. I've come across some great pictures. I'm going to put all that in the community section at the end of the day today. And I'm going to show you guys something really quite remarkable as we're walking down what I do believe is at one time a former rail bed. It's probably now a right-of-way for the electric company. As a matter of fact, if you look at this old electrical pole up there, possibly made of iron, that could go back to when the factory was still here, or the power station was still here. They still are generating power, but I would assume it's probably hydroelectric coming off the Hauto Lake. Again, that's a speculation right there. So something else interesting I picked up from the Lansford Historical Society Facebook page. The article was written by Vincent Hydro, January 31st, 2022. The Lake Hauto power plant was constructed by Lehigh Navigation Electric, a subsidiary of Lehigh Coal and Navigation, and went into operation in 1913. The plant was part of a consolidation plan to eliminate most, if not all, cumbersome and expensive steam plants that serviced individual collieries within Nesquehoning and the Panther Valley. Panther Valley is on the other side of the Nesquehoning Mountain, right here to our left. That would be south. That would be north. Other side of this mountain would be south. Okay. After the Hauto plant went into operation, the Lehigh Coal and Navigation replaced steam equipment at individual collieries with electrical equipment. Soon the company began buying up other small companies within the surrounding region, forming in 1919 the Lehigh Valley Light and Power Company. In 1920, the company was renamed Pennsylvania Power and Light, or PP&L, which a lot of you pay your electric bills to in the modern days. The Hauto plant closed in 1969. Demolition began in 1973, and demolition was completed in 1976. Okay. So now what we have here are the remains of what was, amongst other things, a bridge and bridge abutments that went across what is now modern day Route 54, but that wasn't here until 1928, and it serviced the coal-fired power plant, which would have been, you would have seen it, it would have been massive. I mean, there would have been smokestacks sticking up right now, and it would just be something to see. Again, I'll put pictures in the comment or in the community section, and you can take a look for yourself, but it was a massive, massive plant. I was up here last week, and I thought this was a Lehigh and New England bridge because according to Wikipedia, the Lehigh and New England maps came up here. But interesting enough, from the Wikipedia page about the Lehigh and New England, a couple of things real quick. Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company gains control of the Lehigh and New England on May 9th, 1904. On July 24th, 1912, a new extension opened, splitting off the main line at Danielsville, PA, and running west to Tamaqua to directly serve the Lehigh Coal and Navigation. On December 14th, 1913, the Lehigh and New England acquired the Panther Creek Railroad, running east of Tamaqua to Summit Hill, and with a connection to the Central Railroad of New Jersey's Hauto Tunnel for access to Nesquehoning. So we've been on the Lehigh New England's Tamaqua Road, and it eventually goes to the other side of Nesquehoning Mountain, where decades ago there was a tunnel called the Hauto Tunnel, and I believe it went through the tunnel to connect with the Central Railroad of New Jersey, who was on the other side of Route 54 here, which, like I said, wasn't there in the past. The Reading Railroad was also over there, and I believe both those companies probably made some sort of deliveries to this, to where this plant used to be, because there was all kinds of tracks going to the power plant itself. I was hoping some of this snow would have melted. Them's the brakes. When this plant was first built, it only had 3 smokestacks. I believe by the time it was taken down, it was either up to 7 or 8. And I think it was producing 125,000 kilowatts of power at peak production. Probably in the 30s, I would assume. I'm assuming because I didn't write that part down. Okay. So if any of you are ever driving on Route 54 west of Nesquehoning and you see this giant concrete wall, that is the bridge abutment for the former coal plant, the Hauto coal plant. Try and get you a decent view here. Sorry, bear with me. Okay, so Right in front of us is Lake Hauto. This whole flat area, huge power company. We're on this abutment right here. There were 2 tracks coming off of this abutment. I'll take you down below and we'll look at it in a minute. And they came off in a Y shape. Kind of looked like bug antennae. And they would have gone into the plant and fed it coal directly over top of present-day Route 54, which I said wasn't there when they first built the plant. And then there's Lake Hauto in the back there used for cooling. So let's get you down below. If I can get out of here. Okay. All right. I'm sorry this one's going to be shaky and it's going to be windy, but what are you going to do, right? Remains. Like I said, there's more than just the bridge abutment here, but I don't know what was going on, and I don't know anybody that worked here that could tell me what was going on, nor do I know if that many folks are still alive that used to work here. So I believe that the Pennsylvania Power and Light had their own locomotive that they used here, and all they did was fill it up with steam. They didn't use coal or wood or anything. They were close enough to the steam generation. They could fill it up like a thermos, send it out and do its thing, and then it could come back and fill up again. I got some pictures of that thing too. I'll put it in the community section. Okay, so all this flat area would have been the power plant and beyond. There's railroad tracks down below that dips down there, and there used to be 2 sets, I believe, Reading and Central Railroad in New Jersey. Okay. I will be so glad to dry my feet out after this one. And there we have it. That is what's left of the former Hauto Lake power plant, built by the Lehigh Coal and Navigation System, also known as the Lehigh Canal. And again, you would have had 2 tracks coming off in a Y like bug antenna coming across, and this huge power plant would have been all in here, and it would have been supplying Colm from that direction where the Colm banks were, and it would have brought it across. And I also believe there may have been mining going on in this direction to bring coal into the plant that used to be here. Lake Hauto Power Plant. Early Pennsylvania Power and Light. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with me.